Right, so just like that, we are already in February 2022. Do you remember how excited you were at the start of the year? Remember all the goals that you set yourself and that you told yourself that 2022 is going to be your year? But now you find yourself in February and you're already falling short of your expectation. Now, if this sounds like this applies to you, you have two options. Option A would to be, just throw all your toys out of the pram, give up on the year because you failed 1 month out of 12. Or option B, where you understand that you cannot change the past and you make the conscious decision today that the rest of your year is going to be your year. Now, if you're already working towards your goals, then perhaps you probably don't need to watch this video. But if you haven't started working towards these, or perhaps just feel like you didn't have a great month, you did a little bit, but you feel like you should have done more, then stick around as I'm going to be breaking down my exact process on how I'm going to achieve my 2022 goals and how you can achieve them also. Right, the first thing I want to touch on is understanding where you're at and the importance of starting small. Now, I know what it feels like. You have plenty of goals, you've wrote them all down, motivation hits you and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to do all of these things at once. You try getting up earlier, you try going to the gym 5 times a week, even though before you could barely manage going twice a week. You start trying to post daily content on your Instagram, even though you only posted 3 times last year. See, I've spoken about this before. Motivation will only last you so long. For some reason, people mix up motivation as if it's not an emotion. Motivation falls in the same category as when you're happy, sad, angry. It's a feeling that only lasts a very short amount of time. So if you depend on this to reach your goals, then when life gets in the way, because let's be honest, it gets in the way of all of us, then you're gonna fall short, become frustrated, and then just sack it all off. So this is where I'm asking you to really be honest with yourself, understand where you're at, and build a solid foundation. Even if, it's embarrassing where you're at the moment, start doing really small things to accumulate and build that foundation to then not rely on motivation. Now, this next piece of advice I just stole from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. One concept that really stuck out for me was focus on the system, not the goal. So let's set an example goal. Let's say that you want to lose 1 stone of body weight or 14 pounds. And for this example, we're going to use 2 individuals. We're going to have Jimmy and then James. So Jimmy, just like James, is really motivated to lose the weight, and he wants to go as hard as he can and lose this weight as fast as he can. So the first week he goes to the gym 6 times a week. He's motivated, he's pumped up, he works out as hard as he can, puts in a lot of effort, but then doesn't see any results immediately after week 1. The scale weight doesn't change. He sees no physical improvements in the mirror. So you know what happens to Jimmy? He sacks it off by the 2nd week. He thinks, well, I put in all that effort. Why am I not being rewarded for it? If I've worked at my absolute maximum, then why am I not seeing results from that straight away? So Jimmy sacks it off by week 2 because he can't fathom working any harder, and he never reaches the goal of losing that 1 stone of body weight. Now, James, on the other hand, understands that if he just focuses on going to the gym 3 times a week, doesn't even really matter what workouts he does. If he just focuses initially on making it to the gym 3 times per week, he will reach that goal of losing that stone of body weight. So that's what he does. He makes it to the gyms 3 times per week. And just like all of us, some weeks he'll have a good week. Sometimes he'll have a good session. Sometimes it'll be a bad session. But all he does is focuses on making it to the gym 3 times per week. And you know what happens to James eventually? He reaches his goal. So rather than getting caught up in the moment and focusing on the scale weight every day, he knows that he focuses on the system, which is making it to the gyms 3 times per week. He will get the goal rather than focusing so much on the goal that he doesn't implement the system. And this can be applied to any goal, right? So if you want to grow your social media following, try posting 2 times a week for a month. Every single week you post 2 times per week without fail for a month. Then after you've done this for a month, you go, okay, can I increase this to 3 times per week per month? And then you do that for 2 months. And then it's just simple maths really, because in the first month you've uploaded 8 times. The second month you've uploaded 12 times. This is all on the spot. I haven't wrote this down. And then you've then posted 12 times again. So from month 1 to month 2, you've increased your posting frequency by 50%. And then instead of focusing on your like count, how many followers you have each day, you literally just focus on posting 2 times or 3 times per week. And if your content is good, naturally the followers, the likes, the engagement will come. And the last thing I want to cover is actually a little story. I don't know where I got this from. I think it might have been a book or just a story just from like a podcast or something. But the question you need to ask yourself is, does it make the boat go faster? And if you haven't heard this story, then you're probably asking, Joe, what the are you talking about? So this story relates to the British rowing team. And long story short, every single decision that they needed to make in their life they asked themselves before they made that decision, will it make the boat go faster? As ultimately their main goal is to row as fast as they can, right? So if I eat this donut, will it make the boat go faster? No, probably not, so I won't eat it. If I skip this workout and play PlayStation with the boys, will it make the boat go faster? No. If I go to bed now and don't sit on my phone scrolling through social media, will it make the boat go faster? Yeah, it probably will, because I'll rest and recover better. So if you get super clear on your goal, you can then ask yourself this question and obviously modify it to make it make sense to your everyday actions. And I want to leave you on a little bonus tip that you can think about. Maybe instead of looking at what you're not doing, have a look at the bad things you are doing. So maybe you can't work on that side project because you're spending 2 hours on YouTube every single night. Maybe if you didn't use your phone before you went to bed, you know, put it in a drawer for an hour before you went to bed, your sleep would drastically improve and you'd have the energy to then go gym in the morning. So for one single day, I encourage you to write down every single thing you do, and you will be amazed how much you waste time on pointless stuff. Literally one day, I heard this on a David Goggins interview and I tried it, and it was ridiculous the amount of time I was spending on unfruitful things. Then once you've done this, look at where you can cut stupid things out. Now, gradually cut these things out. Again, going back to the original first point, you're not going to be able to do this all at once. Look at your timetable, look at what you've wrote down, and look at things you can gradually cut out. So that's going to wrap up the video. So if you did enjoy this and you found it useful, remember to drop it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. That's all from me. In a bit.